me see. Yeah, that works. All right,
Oh,
now, I was drawing y'all a quick map, and
That's a nice building, Matt.
thank you.
You know, Matt, sometimes I may just take all the buildings and the mazes for granted, but that's pretty spiffy.
Yeah, I've got it's fun. I mean, I've been working with the culture of the area and a bunch of stuff like that. That's kind of fun, so that I know I've got, you know, are we broadcasting? Yeah, we're broadcasting. Okay, so I know I've got a consistent theme. It's basically, for the most part, it's Minoan and Mycenaean, which, as you know, are really, really similar, and I'm just sort of using them both. But you know, that way I've got some continuity, you know, between the buildings because I'm coloring them and stuff quite a bit. So it would be real easy with that kind of vivid coloring to get really badly off track.
I just want to go up those stairs just to see my miniature go up those stairs.
Of course you do. Of course you do. That's why the stairs are there.
Is this terrain going to make it out to the con?
Oh, hell no. No, it's
Got really excited.
well, I mean, I could bring it. It's because I drive, so it's not like I can't bring it along, but it wouldn't do anything because I don't run convention games at all using minis.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up a map of. Let's see, that splits off like that. Hold on, let me organize this. Make sure I've got this right here. That splits off like that. That door's there.
Oh. Oh, I guess Zach did get back. Maybe he's trying to get us on Skype.
Yeah, but hold on. I hung up on him because he's not doing it right. Okay, so I gave him the right hangout. And okay, so Ian is going to be joining us. That's good. And okay, mapping. So which way is north? That way is north. I don't know what that line's doing there. Right, that would be because north is the other way. That makes more sense. All right, all of this stuff. All right, so now I'm holding up. Now I'm switching my camera so that we can see me on this and save. All right, and then I'll freeze it on me. Okay, so Ian is not here yet. In fact, let me see whether he's dicking around on Facebook. Okay, so he has the thing. He should be here any minute. All right, this map shows the area around the opium den, and I've put a little star on the opium den, which is where Caladin the Paladin has been doing his preaching, and also where it was just Steve that's now addicted to opium in this party, right?
Not addicted, but he's partaking.
Yeah, there's going to be a saving throw at some point on that. All right, so here is the opium den, okay, and up over here, this is actually Dr. Oculus's office right here, and then this is the apothecary, and this is the plaza there, and then along Bad Choice Alley you get to the opium den, which is there, and then this street continues down here, and then this is a much smaller street that sort of breaks out down in this area. So so that's the layout, and let me switch over my camera again. And so what you're looking at in the camera here, this is the opium den, and let's see. I will also tell you what these different places are. Okay, so all right, so our opium den is the opium den of Quijara the Magnificent. And so we're looking at that. And then, let's see, do this right. Okay, and then this building over here. Let's see, can you see where I'm pointing? You can't yet. So all right, so this building over here is a residence. This building here with the octopus guy in the window, that's also a residence. Once again, for reference, here is the opium den. Behind the opium den, there is another building. You do not know what that one is. It's unmarked. And then directly across the side street from the opium den, there is this building here. I'm not getting a good shot off the street here. All right, so that's another unmarked building. And then back to the opium den. They're directly across the side street from each other. There's our opium den again. So basically everything around it is a residence, now that I actually look at it, which would have been a lot easier to have said it in the first place.
But less fun.
Yeah. Okay, so that is what is there. And okay, good, Ian is here.
Hi, Ian.
How's it going? Hi, Ian.
Jonathan.
All right, so I just gave the basic description of what is where in the square around the opium den. And so we'll go ahead for the moment and say that you guys are there. So there is Curzum. And here is Dane. Here is Albrecht. Any of these guys visible? Yeah, they're visible. Who am I missing? Here is Quijar the Magnificent outside the door of his place. I'm missing just Steve. Here's just Steve. And then I need a figure for Caladin the Paladin. Forgot about that in advance. So we'll just say here's Caladin the Paladin.
Wow, he's huge.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Matt Finch, and
That
Whoa, where'd that come from?
was me. I was trying to find today's episode.
Okay, I was like, my God, that's me.
Ah,
I didn't
I'm
say
not-
that.
You're GMing my setting wrong.
Zach, if you do find the episode, can you fast forward a bit to tell us like some spoilers about what might happen?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, and you guys.
Good move.
That's almost crazy enough to work. Keyword is almost. All right. Hang on.
Here we go.
Ian, did you come up with a crazy name for our
Now, another thing that you guys have not run into before is that there is a beggar over, not a beggar, a merchant over here. So he's involved in terms of, he's watching you guys very suspiciously.
What is he selling?
All kinds of shit. He's got a pile of eggs. He has 3 rabbits strung up. He has what looks to be a big tin drinking pitcher. And he has a threadbare carpet that has pictures of Komodo dragons woven into it.
And do we know? We just think that the trade is going to go down here somewhere.
Yes, you know that it's going to be somewhere in this area. I think that what you heard was that it was going to be on the corner near the opium den. And so that's what you're working with right now. And you guys wanted to make the acquaintance of Caladin the Paladin. And you know that he preaches at the opium den this day of the week. And so you go into the opium den, and there is an armored paladin there who is preaching away at a large number of utterly stoned people who are lying on beds dreaming. So over 90% of the clientele is asleep at the moment.
No. They're deep into devotion.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Meditating.
Well, maybe it's like them comas where they can kind of hear it and just absorb it, even though they're not really hearing it or absorbing it.
Does he have a holy symbol?
Caladin?
Yep.
It's a holy symbol of Mitra.
Probably on my shield.
Well, I'm gonna ask whether this is blasphemy of my cleric. As this?
No, we might be able to use this.
As I see them come in, I say, "Friends, all are welcome. Come, hear the word of Mitra. Sit, relax, bring yourselves to the table."
I will brandish a holy symbol of Mitra and say, "I know the word of Mitra."
Oh,
Wait,
good.
you don't. Wait. Do you have a holy symbol of Mitra? Because
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
It was acquired.
Alrighty. But how many? Actually, I'm not going to ask you how many holy symbols you're carrying on you.
basically one for every major religion?
It's
Exactly.
like a fucking charm bracelet. He's just got them all over the place.
A ring of keys.
No, because then they'd see the others. They're all in separate pockets, so I don't get them confused.
I'll look at the cleric and I'll say, "It is so good of you to come where you are needed most."
Now, at this point, Quijara the Magnificent, who is the dude in the big turban, comes up to just Steve, holding a pipe, and says, "Here you go, 5 gold pieces."
Dude, you were just thinking what I was thinking. This is the only way I'm going to get through another one of these sermons. Thanks, man.
Get it to go this time.
I got it to go
wait.
last time.
Yeah, he was walking down the street with the pipe.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little clay pipe, and so he then turns to Kurzim, and He looks at Curzum, who's brandishing a holy symbol, and then he says, "Welcome to the revival," and immediately turns to the next person in line, which is Dane, and he says, magnificently bearded fellow.
Yes, your hat is wonderful.
Your beard would look far, far better with a pipe sticking out of the middle of it."
Now, while normally I wouldn't disagree with that sentiment, I've had a crazy fucking week, let me tell you what. And I think for the moment I'm probably going to pass, but I'll bear that in mind. Thanks.
All right. And then Zach, he holds out an opium pipe to Albrecht, the architect.
By all means.
All right. So it's 5 gold pieces for a pipe of opium, and you and just Steve can sit there puffing away at your pipes as you're listening to one of the world's most boring sermons. But the other thing is that it seems kind of detached from reality, because he's talking as if he's in a church and that everyone's listening. And you can't quite figure that part of it out. And after a while,
my hand, because I can detect my services are required.
You're raising your hand? Is that
my stubby hand? It's
okay.
hard to tell when a dwarf is raising their hand, so I'll kind of turn sideways a little.
Okay. So Caladin, you've got the dwarf raising his hand. Are you on mute, Jonathan?
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes, a question from one of the flock.
It would appear that you have everything that one might need for powerful and persuasive religious performance and instruction. You have a man of great eloquence such as yourself. You have an attentive flock. You have a faith worthy of believers. But you lack the one thing that I alone can provide you. A structure. You have no church. Are you in need of one, sir? For I am Albrecht, the architect. And I wave my letter at him that says I'm an architect.
Okay, and that letter, the letter, by the way, is water-stained and dog-eared, and it has not only blood on it, but what looks like dried slug slime or something like that. So it's getting very, very raggedy, but he brandishes it.
I'm a real architect.
Yeah, he brandishes it proudly. What do you do?
I look at him and I say, if that be the will of Mitra, so be it. I am more than happy to have you build a temple here where the people are. We'll just have to find some land first.
Perfect.
And on second thought, I think I might take that opium pipe.
Okay, 5 gold pieces.
Yep. Okay.
So Quijara the Magnificent has been listening to this, and he raises up his hands and says, "Praise Mitra, you may use this land for building 3 more stories on top of this one for a temple of Mitra, which I will rent to you."
And I look at the architect and I say, "See, Mitra provides."
That he does.
Did we already get a space to build it from the like, we didn't get space, we just got like a flat, here's a bunch of money.
Yeah, you need to get a hold of the land, and I think that I said that you guys thought you could do it for 8,000. It would be you could certainly build one. You could raise the level of this building by a couple of stories and put your temple of the Dawn Goddess up on the top. You were paid for making a temple of the Dawn Goddess.
But isn't there already a temple of the Dawn Goddess that they wanted us to just improve?
No, they wanted to get a
brand new structure.
Oh, no. It wasn't the Dawn Goddess. It was Saint Muriel. So yeah, so you could put a temple of Saint Muriel. It would be so appropriate to have the new chapel of Saint Muriel built on top of an opium den in the worst neighborhood in the entire city. I can't wait to hear Jim Hazeltine's reaction to that.
I think there's possibilities here, but we'll have to discuss with you that arrangement of leasing isn't great for us.
Dude, just think about all the clientele we would be able to bring you. I mean, after church, they're gonna need some relaxation. And this place would provide it. So really, we should be getting paid by you.
So Quijara the Magnificent says, well, let's see. If you choose to build the temple on top of the opium den, we could do that in exchange for a commission on the contributions made at the temple. No cash up front, other than building the.
What's upstairs right now? I'd like to take a look.
Now wouldn't be a good time, but it's just a small room that's up there.
Let's have a look. Now is as good a time as any.
You can't just go walking onto my property, Paladin, without my permission. It is my property. That's the law.
We'd like Just Steve to at least go up on your balcony and hang around a little bit and see if it has the right vibes for this sort of endeavor.
Just
I'm also like an exterminator in case you don't want us to go up there because of like rats or whatever.
No, you can certainly come back tomorrow morning and take a look at it, but really, now would not be a good time.
Caladin's already out the door, headed for the stairs.
Okay, so Caladin is going. Man, this is really rough because what I'm seeing is the mirror image on my camera. So Caladin goes up the stairs. We'll say he's about halfway. What are the rest of you doing?
Well,
I will go
upstairs, and he's a paladin. So he's a client, so I'm following him.
Okay. So he gets sort of a little further. Albrecht gets up the stairs. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll follow.
I got this opium, but I guess we'll follow the rest of them.
Well, we call this a lope and smoke, so I guess we'll just carry on.
Okay. So you guys,
I'd like to follow, but I'd like to leave a sack right on the right-hand side of those stairs.
Okay.
Like outside.
All right.
That's.
It's a sack with contents of some kind. I take it, right?
I could tell you what it is, but it would.
No, you don't need to tell me. I'm just asking. You know, is a sack with contents.
It's
oh
a
yeah.
sack.
All right. So we've got just Steve over by the stairs. We've got Dane and everybody else. And so then
Just Steve might go to the other side when he sees me put the sack down too.
All right. And then you go up. Now, so are we saying that just Steve is sort of going around the corner here when you say?
I would say, so I want my sack to be like right where Just Steve is, like right in that corner there. And then
Okay.
I think Just Steve would see that and make an assumption.
All right. So also then, so just Steve sees that there is another set of stairs leading up to the next house that's down here. Let's see if I can get a just Steve's eye view of this. Yeah. So there's, so that's what just Steve is seeing is there's this second set of stairs. That's Albrecht standing at the top of the opium den stairs, which is the other building.
I think
Just Steve's view is maybe a little more hazy.
Yeah, I need some of that like the cotton stuff that you used before, just to get the real effect. But I think just Steve is actually gonna prefer to be on that other balcony across from where they are.
Okay, so just Steve goes around, climbs the stairs, and is now. Let's see how we are. Okay, so just Steve is now across the area from the rest of you, and so there is a jump across those stairs. If somebody wanted to do that,
I might want to. I don't think I could.
No, not the dwarves. Really, it's just Steve that could probably make that jump out of the rest of you. Caladin's armor would probably bring him down, and then the rest of you have short, stumpy legs. And in Dane's case, there's also a lot of air resistance due to the beard.
And I could trip over the wall and fall successfully, probably.
Yeah, you could probably do that, gangbusters.
Yeah.
Also, I know what's in that package, and I want to be as far away as humanly possible. But just Steve sort of justifies it as, yeah, this is like a great view, guys. This is really just getting a full view of the area, and I think we could probably build something here.
I look at just Steve and go,
I'm gonna hop up, and I'm going to try to do a cartwheel to a handspring onto the railing and hop over just to prove I can.
All right.
I have athletics and I smoke opium.
Okay.
Would that be athletics or acrobatics?
I feel like those two things even you out to 0 at the playing field.
You can pretty much use either of those for that kind of a thing. So, all right, go ahead and roll a d20, Zach, and let's take a look at that.
So strength base of 3.
Got a bad feeling about this.
16?
No.
It's proficiency plus strength bonus.
Yeah, 16.
16. Okay. So, with trailing a thread of opium smoke, Albrecht leaps across to the next balcony, catches it barely with his hands. His feet smack against the wall underneath it, and then he does a Looney Tunes scampering with his feet that drives him up powerfully onto the top of the balcony, where he lands with ballerina grace, and throws his hands up into the air in victory. So there's Albrecht.
Just Steve claps.
Thank you very much.
That was like a really impressive little dude. I didn't think you had it in you.
How are you going to get back now?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't care.
Who needs to get back? Now, I'm taking it that bag looks like it's just an ordinary bag of sawdust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sawdust.
Yeah, it's probably spilling a little sawdust.
All right.
Packed with care.
Okay. So, actually, let me move back to our tactical camera, and we will take a look at what things look like. All right. So, here are the two of you guys standing on the one balcony. And then backing up to the opium den, here are others of you on the stairs to the opium den. And by now, Curzum has replaced Albrecht up there on the top. All right. So what do you guys do? I've still got Dane, were you following the rest of them up the stairs?
Yeah. Sorry. So I'll go up. I know we're supposed to be keeping an eye out for this deal that's going down. So I'm gonna just be keeping an eye on the street, see if
I have a
anyone's
suspicion about
selling
that deal now.
slaves. But I'm just basically I'm watching our 6.
Okay. So first off, Quijara is following you guys, saying, "No! You don't have permission to come on the second floor of the property. It's not a good time, really. It's a very, very bad time for that."
So I now have a suspicion about this deal. So there's a door that's shutting that, I'm assuming?
There is a door. It is shut. Dane, you notice a Kenku or Tengu who is making his way toward the opium den. And you notice him in particular because he is very heavily armed for a Kenku. I mean, mostly they sort of skulk around wearing cloaks and things like that. And he seems to be a lot more heavily armed than that. About the same time, you see two more much more normally accoutered Tengu coming up the street.
Do they look like they're looking at each other? They're aware of each other, kind of thing, or?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Now, at the same time, Steve, you hear something making a thumping and rustling sound behind. Let me see if I can get. All right, let's zoom in on you guys some here. So this should be a picture of Steve and. Okay, so here's Steve and Albrecht. You hear a thumping and rustling sound from this side of the building over here, not visible by any of the others, and they don't know because they don't hear it. You're the only one who hears it. What do you do?
Would it be possible to jump from that ledge to one of those like roof support beams and onto the roof of the building?
Abso-fucking-lutely. That's
as a totally high elf would do.
Yeah. So you unfortunately now have disadvantage due to the opium.
Okay. It's a 14.
A 14?
After disadvantage.
Pretty good.
All right. Yeah, no, that's great.
On
Yeah.
acrobatics, because he does it with like a backflip and whatnot. Freaking elves.
And yeah, unfortunately, that's a DC 15 to get up there on the roof. So
I grab him before he falls.
Yeah, well, he jumps up and he grabs the support beam. Okay, but then doesn't seem to get sort of gets confused and just hangs there by his hands from the support beam, and so he's swinging gently sideways back and forth from the support beam,
like a little kid who can't quite get their foot to the
right.
I think he just forgot what he was planning to do.
Yeah, it's more like that because the problem was disadvantage. So you're having a really good time swinging from the roof beam.
Dude, Albrecht, you should try this. Hey, Albrecht, you should do this with me. This is awesome.
You are a high elf.
Hey, you guys, there's something going on down here. I just think.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Does that heavily armed Kenku seem to be moving? Is the heavily armed Kenku moving towards Kujara?
Here's what happens: the heavily armed Kenku and the other two Kenku both walk into the opium den, and Kujara. So they're not there anymore, and Kujara squeals to himself, "Customers!" and he runs in also. So now the street at the moment is clear. Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Caladin's gonna walk in the door.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Crow's face looks down at just Steve from the roof and says, do you need some help?
Whoa! When did you get here? Who are you? When am I? Albrecht, do you see this bird that's talking to us?
Birds don't talk. You're imagining things.
Albrecht, okay, let me just step on your head and just climb on up.
Okay, step on my head.
Can you give me a boost?
I can't because I step on my hand instead of my head.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say stepping on his head's not going to make any progress for you.
Oh wait, I'm a giraffe. No, I'm not.
All right, I'm gonna take use his hand to kip myself up, and hope for the best.
So yes, you managed to fight your way up onto the balcony, where you see this Kenku there. Okay, so
I'd like to go back down the stairs too.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, the roof's come off. That's awesome.
Because Caladin has now walked into the room.
Oh boy.
This is exciting.
And that
Please be slaves. Please be slaves.
Where the Manticore is.
Oh, what?
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa.
Okay. Y'all accelerated the situation here. Curzon, what was it you said you were going to do?
I guess that since he went in and probably said something. I was gonna go back down the stairs. I wanted to leave my other bag by the door up there, and then
okay. So you're starting down the stairs, and you sort of run into Dane.
Well, I wanted to leave a second bag by the door up there.
Okay, so you were going down to get a bag?
No. I have a second one.
Okay.
I'm leaving another leather sack with sawdust. I was going to leave it right by the door there.
Just sawdust.
Okay, you haven't gotten that far. You haven't gotten down the stairs.
But I wanted it by the door upstairs.
I know, but you haven't. You have 2 bags, right?
Yeah, so I left one at the bottom.
Right.
And now I was going to leave my second on the balcony next to the door.
Okay, so you're leaning in to put down your bag, and you see this enormous thing with the body of a lion and huge bat wings. It's got a mane, a lion's type mane, and it's looking kind of surprised at Caladin, who has just sort of opened the door and walked in.
I look at him and go, "Are you here for the property inspection?"
It sort of pauses. No. I am here to listen. It looks at you. To the cleric, to the priest of Mitra, who is making a speech downstairs, and I was listening to the extremely uplifting sermon that was being given.
Well, I am happy to bring the word straight to you, and I'll walk up and I'll pat his mane and go, "It's so good of you to join the flock."
And I'm proud to be a part of it. What are you so you are the brilliant speaker from downstairs?
I am humbled that you think so.
How long are you planning on staying around this part of the neighborhood this evening?
Well, I've seen what I need to see.
Goodbye then. Have a wonderful evening.
And I'll walk out the door and shut it behind me.
Okay. So Caladin has walked out the door, and
as I'm doing that, I'll say, "Please be sure to stop by next week."
Roll a d20, Caladin.
4.
Okay. So on his way out the door, Caladin trips over the bag of sawdust that Curzim had been quietly putting there while he was in there. And so I need another d20 roll and pray that it's not a 1. Ian, you go ahead and do that.
Oh.
19.
Okay. So he trips over the bag of sawdust, and it rips open, and some of the sawdust falls on the ground. But nothing that was inside of the sawdust has any particular problem with it.
Confound it, we'll need to clean up before construction can begin. This place is a hazard.
You're not wrong.
All right, so Curzim is still sort of.
I didn't want to go in. I wanted to be at the door. So
yeah. So you've been sort of holding your breath and then slowly letting it out ever since Caladin kicked that bag.
Oh yeah.
And so what do you do now, Albrecht?
Yes.
You are having what you think is probably a hallucination because you are directly across from one of the windows of that room, the upstairs window, and all of a sudden a bizarre lion-like head with the really it looks like almost a human being, except the features are kind of twisted. And what you know is that A couple of seconds ago, Caladin walked in there, and then all of a sudden there's this face looking out that doesn't look anything like Caladin. And roll a perception check with disadvantage to see whether you notice that Caladin's not in there anymore.
I rolled a 9, so probably a failure.
Yeah, it's probably a.
Oh yeah, no, wait, no, I rolled a 6.
Okay, all right. So you haven't noticed. You were so captivated with this bizarre face that you didn't notice that now Caladin has simply walked out of that room. So apparently he has been transformed into something quite nasty and dangerous.
Oh, wait, don't like manticores have beards?
Yes, they do. It's kind of like a beard. It's more of a mane. I mean, it's just the bottom part of the mane. So it's looking out the window, and it is looking at you. Let me see if I can
get to that window. So I'm gonna walk over there. And
yeah. So this is the setup. You can see that you're looking in the window, and the manticore is looking out at you.
Right. So move me over there. So I'm looking through the window.
You're gonna go.
Caladin going down the stairs at this point?
Yeah, he's complaining that the place is dangerous, and so he's now at the bottom of the stairs. So he's over here. All right. There's Caladin at the bottom of the stairs. Here is Albrecht looking in the window at the manticore, and so you guys are about 1 foot distant from each other.
Right.
And the manticore looks at you and he says, "Are you part of the property inspection?"
Are you real?
Yes, I am the property inspector.
You're turning into a dragon.
Yeah. That has never happened to me before.
You've got wings, sir.
I do, yes. I have wings. And I'm not large enough to get out this window. I was thinking about leaving the door. Are you affiliated with...
You're too small to get out the window?
Get out the window. Are you associated with the elf on the roof and the other people that are on the balcony and the stairs and so on?
I don't know anymore.
Do you know? It sort of rummages around and it comes out with this huge claw.
Typical manticore, always rummaging.
It sticks the claw out the window, and it's got 5 gold pieces in it. And he says, "Do you know what you need?"
More opium.
Exactly. Why don't you go on into the opium den downstairs and have yourself a nice pipe of opium?
There's an opium den downstairs?
Yes, there is. All right, so Kurzim...
I'm thinking about stairs. Like, that just seems like a lot.
So you are... so Kurzim, you've now noticed that Albrecht appears to be talking to the manticore. You know what's in there. And so Albrecht is having a conversation with him. Now, just Steve, you also, you've got the Kenku, but now your attention has also been captured by Albrecht's conversation with the Manticore. And Dane knows about it too. So the only person that has completely missed what's going on is Caladin, because he walked down to the bottom of the stairs. All right, so going in order, Ala, what does just Steve do?
He's gonna turn to the Kenku and it's like, you're seeing that giant head, right, dude? Because
you see that the Kenku has dropped down and is now sitting down behind the little wall that protects people from falling off the roof. And so he's sitting there, apparently trying not to be seen from the window. And
Okay,
he says, no, I don't see a thing.
So I just made like a sanity check basically for just Steve, and he sort of I think there's a moment of clarity,
Okay.
and he's gonna duck down and he's gonna whisper to the Kenku,
All right.
"Hey, what's going on?"
And the Kenku says, well, I see you have a sword. Are you here on some sort of business?
Well, there was the slave trade that we were kind of interested in order to get some labor, but this just got weirder.
So you were here planning to buy slaves? Is that
Yeah, and also to have opium. But yeah, the slave thing.
okay? Just a moment, it says, and it swings down off the back of the building and sort of disappears out of sight.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Huh. I wonder if he's gonna come back.
Now, at this point, now see, Ian has done an adventure like this with me before, so has some idea. At this point, Caladin, back up at the front of the establishment, where Caladin has walked down the stairs, annoyed by the lack of safety features and so on in the place. Let me try and get Caladin here. Okay, so here's Caladin. And a guy walks up toward the door who is very fancily dressed. And he is accompanied by an armed-looking individual. All right.
2 or 4.
So there, 2. there is our armed individual. And the merchant, or the guy who's dressed like the merchant, sort of stops and looks around, and then he starts walking over to the merchant guy who's over here. His guard stays right where he is, watching Caladin. Do you do anything, Jonathan?
I mean, if they don't look like they have anything to do with the building at all, probably not.
Okay.
I'm at some point likely to seek out Quajara and tell him that I approve of the space as long as he cleans up the place.
Okay, well, Quajara is inside.
Right.
And at that point, a Kenku comes around the corner, Tengu. And so here now is the entire cast of characters that are out front of the opium den. And the Tengu sees these two people here, and then he sidles into the opium den. So once again, well, I mean, that does have to do with the building. You do anything about that?
Nope.
Okay. So now Ian and Gabe it's y'all's turn. Are you guys doing anything about Albrecht's conversation with the Manticore?
Gabe, if you had something, but I definitely have something I'm doing.
Go for it. I'm just confused.
I will be waving you down the stairs, but I'm going to use his conversation as a distraction. And I'm going to start backing up and pouring a line of oil to follow me down the stairs, going from the sawdust bag all the way down the stairs.
Okay, so the two of you guys come down the stairs and sort of, gently jostle past Caladin. Okay. And at that point, the Manticore stops talking to Albrecht, disappears out the door, and is now standing here up at the top of the stairs. So Albrecht's just looking at the Manticore's ass now. Zach, what do you do? The lion dragon you were talking to has suddenly quit talking to you and gone out the door.
That's really rude.
It was.
And I will say, "Excuse me, sir," and I will give a sort of buffet with like you would if somebody just turned away from you in the middle of an important conversation about stairs.
Okay, well, you can reach its tail.
I will attempt to accost it and grab its tail. Excuse me.
All right, so the tail is covered with spikes. Now, what was it you were doing with the tail?
Okay, now it's spikes tip to end, or is it just the...
No. It's like a bristle of spikes at the place where a lion would have an ordinary tail.
Right, so I'm grabbing obviously not that part. Even
okay, so you're gonna grab the tail?
The snaky part, yeah. Like,
oh my god.
All right, so you grab the tail.
Excuse me, sir, I was having a conversation.
Okay. So the Manticore sort of slowly turns its head back toward Albrecht, who is holding it by the tail.
Yes.
And at that point, all of the Tengu together come out. All right, and they yell, "Kill the slavers!" And
they're our kind of guys.
They've been watching.
Which ones were the slavers?
Right. See, that's the issue here, is that just Steve said that he was there to buy slaves because they needed, or for the deal because they needed labor, without actually saying. I mean, now he didn't say that they were the buyers, but he said, "Yeah, we're here for this slave deal because we need labor." And
that is true.
We can re-roll the tape if need be. That's the
no. That was what he said. I was cringing the whole time. If it makes a difference.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Steve said, and Steve is a high elf. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Everybody roll initiative, because the Kenku, they stream out of the place. All right, they stream out of the place. And all of them attack. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Those ones attack Caladin, and the two others run around the corner because they're going to attack Dane, who is standing there. Just Steve is watching the Manticore when everything breaks loose. And the merchant and his guard, when the Tengu run out yelling "Kill the slavers," the two of them look really, really nervous for a second until they start attacking Caladin and Dane, and then they look really, really confused. So let's move on to some dice rolling here.
I figure the charismatic people can fix the situation. Yeah.
All right, so we've got they're going in. I have got a large number of enemies. Fortunately, I only have 2 types of enemies here. I've got Tengu and I have a Manticore, and so. Let me find my Tengu in here. Tengu are under K. Here we are. All right.
Wait, if we're going in alphabetical order, I go first.
Not alphabetical.
Oh. I thought you said...
Is that why you picked an A name?
It's because I'm calling them Tengu because that's open game content when they're actually Kenku, so they're under K. All right, so they've got a +3 on their decks. So they're going then. What are your initiative numbers?
5.
Dane's on a
22.
16.
Just Steve is a 22.
All right. Ian?
14.
All right. In 22, just Steve, what do you do? Albrecht has grabbed the Manticore by the tail, and a street brawl has broken out down in the street. You can't really tell who's in it, but it does look like Dane's being attacked by a couple of Tengu.
Caladin was a 3.
Okay.
If I can get a clear view of what's going on down there, just Steve's gonna be like, "Hey, little dudes, no, we don't want to fight you." But he's gonna delay for now.
Yeah, and you really actually don't have a clear view of what's going on. Just looking at the line of sight, you've got a Manticore in the way. You don't have a very good angle because of that other building being in front of you. You can see that the Kenku are attacking somebody, and there are a couple of flashes of blue robe and beard that make it look like it's probably Dane they're attacking. But other than that, you can't see any details.
Yeah, I'm gonna delay for now until at least until the Manticore gets out of the way.
Okay.
Because I think that would give me a much better view.
All right. In 17, the Manticore gets out of the way. It
What
is
does that mean?
Well, it whips around to the side and around to the back,
Oh, son of a bitch.
which drags Albrecht down onto the stairs behind him. No damage, but there's just sort of a wall there. It bites downward and misses with the bite.
Who's it biting?
You.
Oh, why?
Because you're pulling its tail.
I was just trying to get his attention. Now this is really rude.
Yeah, no.
What happens whenever you pull a cat's tail?
Succeeded.
It bites you.
I just thought it was a guy turning into a dragon very slowly, like in Nice Dreams,
He still thought it was Caladin.
that Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah, so I mean, he's talking. He's as far as he knows, this is Caladin the Paladin attacking him. So let's see, a +5 to hit. So that's a 21. What's your armor class?
It isn't 21. It's 20. But yeah,
Not quite good enough. It did get a 21. So you take from the claw 9 points of slashing damage,
oh, my least favorite kind.
and then the other claw is also a miss.
What is your favorite kind of damage to take?
I really enjoy caressing damage.
I'm not sure that deals damage, though.
Oh,
Oh,
any
it does,
particular
my
thing
friends.
deal that kind of damage?
When it's done right.
Yeah.
When it's done right, it does damage.
I want to fight whatever you're fighting. It
Seriously.
does that kind of damage.
Well, do you have a letter of introduction from the Architects Guild?
All right,
I
so-
don't think you need a letter of introduction for that kind of damage.
All right, so Steve, you see Albrecht sort of swing down to the stairs, and he is strong enough to keep holding onto the Manticore's tail, which means that the Manticore is not able to get its launch any tail spikes, because right now they are pointing almost at Albrecht, but he's holding it out just a little bit to the side. So you've got and the Manticore starts hissing and spitting, and that is so. Do you do anything? That's in 17, and you've been waiting.
Man, I'm assuming Steve might know something about manticores in that they're bad news.
Yeah.
Man,
And there's one in the center of every manta.
Its core, so to speak.
and I'm trying to decide if it's a better idea to like help him or just stay out of it, and maybe the manticore will just go away. And
I haven't.
You know what? For now, I'm not going to shoot at it. I'm just going to see what transpires here, because it sort of looks like Albrecht is pulling on its tail, and it's not happy about that, because that's what cats do.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, Albrecht is fucking with it. So, If you decide that you're just going to
You
wait
don't
it out.
want to retire, at the
Okay.
moment.
Anybody in 16? I think someone was in 16.
Yeah, that's Dane.
Okay.
I mean, so these Tengu
Mhm.
just came out of nowhere attacking, saying something about slavers. We're not slavers. No, what? Oh, hold on. And I mean, he's gonna kind of back up and not really back up, but like take a defensive stance and cast armor of, I want to say Agathis.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically gonna be that. But he's kind of trying to disarm the situation. Like we're not slavers. Like why? I think you guys must be confused. I know I'm confused, but I think you guys must be confused too.
All right. Anybody in 15? 14?
14 is me.
All right. It's also the Kenku. What do you do?
Oh shit. So where exactly is the Manticore still up there, or it's totally down?
No, it's still up there. In fact, its claws have skittered over the bag of sawdust too. Give me another saving throw for your bag of sawdust. This time you don't want to roll a 1 or a 2.
Or I do want to roll a 1 or a 2.
Well, at this point, yeah, you might.
What is this bag of sawdust?
I have a 17, unfortunately.
Okay.
Damn it! I packed that too well. Oh.
So
All
what
right,
do you
so I've
do?
got my line of oil. I'm going to turn to the Kenku and scream, "We're here to stop the slavers!" and light my line of oil that goes to the sawdust bag and hopefully set it off.
Okay. It's a line of oil, and yeah. Okay, so it's going to shoot pretty much instantly up those stairs.
That was the premise.
So what is it that you yell?
I yell, "We're here to stop the slavers!"
And at that
And
moment,
I light my own.
the opium den blows up.
Slavers stopped.
Also stopped a bunch of drug addicts.
All right, so the
Oh,
manticore. Let's see, the
No
manticore.
longer will you be slaves, you will be corpses.
The manticore fails its saving throw. So now let's see. It does have an awful lot of hit points. So let's roll some damage for the manticore.
boy.
And I just cleared the top floor, so construction will be easier.
Wait, actually, yeah, you should be rolling damage on the manticore. Roll 6d6, Ian.
Okay. I'm okay with that. 60? All right. Roll them all up here. Ah! 11, 6 and a 5, so 18. It does 26 and 3 plus 17, 26 damage.
Nice.
Okay, so the manticore is hurled upward into the air, but it's not dead, so it catches itself with its wings. Now, we got to find out what happened to Albrecht, whether he's holding onto the tail or whether he's hurt by that.
I
So
can fly!
roll a saving throw, Albrecht. You were down behind the stairs, so for that, you're going to take half damage instead of full, and roll a saving throw.
Which kind of saving throw?
Oh, let's see. Dexterity, I guess.
That is a 14.
And it was a 15. So you are going to take, now it's half damage.
That's a good
Ian,
thing.
what was the, okay, so 26. So you take 13 points of damage.
That puts me at like well in the deads.
You had, but you never, did you level up?
You should be level 2.
No, I never leveled up. Nobody ever said, "Hey Zach."
Yeah, you should be level 2. Roll a second set of hit points, a second hit die to see whether you're.
Anybody know what a fighter's die is in this one?
I believe it's
Oh,
10.
D10.
I think it's 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's barbarians are probably 12.
So, that's good. Well, all right. So, I just doubled my hit points. That's good. Because I need them. Okay, so it was 13. You said.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm merely close to dead. Not. I'm not even at 0 yet. So.
Okay. You are, however, 50 feet in the air, holding onto the manticore's tail.
I want nothing more than that.
And you're covered in plaster dust as well. Now, okay, more things happen. So the second story of that building.
What second story?
Oh, it comes right off. Oh, that's
That
so
second
great.
story.
So
Matt,
good.
Matt knew I was going to be doing that, so
Is completely blown away. There you go, Ala.
Yes.
So we've got the cotton there.
Oh
Nice.
my god!
I think.
There's that cotton fuzz.
Okay, so
Are you
with
like you had this all planned out?
well, that's actually what the opium den looks like normally.
I've got a pretty good idea. I'm really good at predicting what's going to happen in adventures like this. So anyway, so with in a majestic sort of way, the remaining half of that little upper story collapses slowly down into the opium den, where there are a few screams that quickly cut short. Now, that's still not all, because the explosion, you have a second bag at the base of the stairs, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I was hoping it would be far enough out of the blast to.
no, these are big blasts
Oh,
on
boy.
these bombs.
I
Did
underestimated.
Did you watch the episode called Dark of the Swords and Wizardry?
Oh, I don't think I saw. Wait, probably.
You're gonna want to watch the episode Dark. It's when Skeeter blew up a part of the dungeon and filled it with so much dust nobody could see, and it collapsed walls and the whole bit. So these are very powerful bombs.
We underestimated his capabilities.
Now, when
we should got the gnome size.
when that goes off, okay, all of the Kenku except for the one who is wearing the armor and stuff, all die. They're hit by stones and by the explosion.
Oh, shit.
And so they sort of blow up into hollow-boned rags, scattering through the street and splattering the building opposite. Let me see if my armored Kenku. No, my armored Kenku. Okay, so the armored Kenku is also hit by the blast, and he is actually vaporized. Let's see now. We've got our merchant who's over there talking to the beggar. Merchant makes a saving. Okay, the merchant is still alive. The street vendor, however, you're not entirely sure what happened to him, but he disappears backward, and the carpet that he had over the top of his stall just sort of gently drifts down and creates a lump over the merchandise. Now we've got Caladin, Curzim, and Dane are all there. And so, in fact, Curzim's standing right next to it. So each one of you guys make a saving throw.
And we're rolling dex.
Dex, yeah.
18.
Ooh.
3.
Okay. So Ian, could you roll me another 6d6 damage?
I sure can. With pleasure. These are fun.
Oh boy.
$10, 17, 21.
Okay. So Caladin, you take 10 points. Dane, did you save?
I rolled an 18.
No, I'm sorry. Caladin, you take the full 21 because you failed. And then the people who succeeded at the save take 10.
Ow!
That's the whole side of the building now, too, huh? So this building
Now,
is level.
was that the first
Yeah,
class?
so that one collapses the stairs.
Was that the first class or the second
No,
class?
actually, yeah, no. Here's, I mean, yeah.
Well, this
Those
is gonna
are
make
great.
construction a lot easier.
Now there's essentially nothing but a foundation and a big pile of rubble, and barely conscious, swinging from the tail of the manticore. Albrecht looks down and thinks to himself that is probably the quickest, least expensive demolition of a building he has ever seen.
That would be anti-architecture.
I don't know. He's worked with me before.
Yeah, it's true, but you never had bombs of this quality before either.
And usually in the past, I feel like you might have told me you were going to set them off, but
But that's part of the surprise of it. Like, it's not as fun if you know it's coming.
Well, we can have a discussion about that.
I feel like it was kind of a Chekhov's bomb once you put them down by them doors.
Yeah, I thought they were sawdust.
So the first bomb,
The sawdust was to exacerbate the fieriness of the explosion.
yeah.
I just feel like the amount of opium I've had in my system, I should have been warned that.
Oh my God, that's the other thing. All right, so that cloud that's coming out of there.
Oh, this is wonderful.
It keeps
Just when we
getting
thought we
bigger
couldn't get any higher.
and bigger and bigger, and begins to just sort of drift through the neighborhood.
All the little kids run out to see what it is.
Wafting into windows, blowing through alleyways, being sucked into the sewers. So you guys are able to sort of see through the whole mist of the thing. And what you see emerging from the mist over here, let me see if I can.
Uh-oh.
Okay, is an ogre. And behind the ogre is a troop of 10 people who are shackled together.
That's what we're looking for.
That's more like it.
And the ogre just sort of stops and stares at the ruins of the thing. And we're at this point, Steve, and everyone who is under disadvantage from the opium, you're no longer under a disadvantage because everybody within about a quarter-mile radius has disadvantage on everything that they're doing now. And so since everybody has disadvantage, we're just going to call it regular, even though technically that does mean you. All right, so yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh, I get it. You were high and you just wanted everybody else to be high.
I wasn't yet. Now, I mean, mission accomplished.
Wait. You blew me up and you weren't even high?
Well, he didn't want to pay the 5 gold for the.
That's what I was gonna say too. He's the only person. He's the only person who's high for free.
I'm reconsidering this church that I've.
Not necessarily free. We paid a lot for those bombs.
True.
But boy, are they worth
paid a
it.
lot. I paid a lot for those bombs, and I regret nothing.
Caladin's going to see the ogre walk up with all these people, and he's going to walk up to the ogre.
Okay.
And he's going to say to the ogre, "You're too late. Demolition's done. Come back next week for construction."
You got outbid.
Yeah, the ogre. Well, the ogre looks at the place and he says, "Well, I was supposed to come to the opium den, and There is no opium den, he says to Caladin, sounding very confused.
And I'll look at him and I say, yes, when we're done clearing out the rubble, come back next week to start construction. Tuesday.
Caladin, he's a slaver. Stop him.
All right, the ogre.
I can't hear what Ian said. I got a ringing in my ears from what just happened.
Yeah, no, no, there's a possibility. Roll a Constitution save, and if you make the save, you are going to hear what he says, even though you don't want to.
6.
Okay. So Caladin's ears are ringing. He doesn't hear the whole thing. He's just shouting, and he's shouting real loudly at the ogre that he's got to come back later to help with the construction. And so the ogre looks back at his file of slaves, and he says, so you want to hire us?
And I'll look at him.
That will be 50 gold pieces. He says.
Talk to Quijara. He's footing the bill.
Where's Quijara?
I'll point at the pile of rubble.
Okay, so the ogre walks over to the pile of rubble, and he just begins shouting at it. Can you hear me?
That's perfect.
Like that. All right, now we do still have the issue that Albrecht is swinging from the Manticore's tail, and so we're going to do another round of combat.
Wait, I didn't get a turn.
That's true. We skipped you. What do you do?
Well, here's the thing. I just got blown up, and I'm in the air, and I'm covered in white dust. So I'm pretty sure I'm dead and a ghost. Because
good point.
I didn't know I leveled up, which means I don't know that I had enough hit points to survive that. So,
and not only that, but with the opium fire, you're getting just higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, I'm dead and I'm a ghost, and so I need to haunt Kurzim, who apparently betrayed my trust.
You didn't know that I did that.
Of his flock. Well, I saw you dropping sawdust, and then I saw, I know demolitions.
Yeah, and he knows demolition. He knows demolition.
He bird's eye view.
That was exploding.
He knows demolitions. He knows Kurzim, and he knows that Kurzim had bombs, and even Albrecht can put that together.
So I need to get off of this Manticore's tail. Now I noticed there's a lot of, being an architect, there's a lot of what we call domes on top of the buildings around here.
That is correct.
Are there any of them that look like, because I don't really understand my ghost powers yet, look like I could just let go of the tail and land on a nearby friendly dome?
You'd have to swing yourself over here. Let me see what I can do here with this. Okay, so this is going to be the nearest dome to you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can definitely and totally swing over. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
And that's going to be a DC of 15. And we're considering you not to be at disadvantage. Either.
I am a ghost, and I made it.
Okay, so Albrecht has now swung over and is on the top of this building here. There's Albrecht. And the Manticore, of course, is airborne, but that's its location right now. So that slews the Manticore around, and so the Manticore is going to be at disadvantage during this round. So everybody roll initiative. And I don't think I have. I guess I could have disadvantage on initiative. So let's see. All right, so the Manticore is going in 6, 7, 8, 9. Manticore goes in 9. All right, let's count down. Anybody above 20?
21.
Okay. What does Caladin do?
Will I have noticed the flying Manticore?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna wave at him.
Okay. At the Manticore?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Albrecht the Paladin's waving at you.
Oh, well, he can see me because he's, spiritual.
No, I'm not waving at Albrecht. I'm waving at the Manticore.
Yeah, but Albrecht is in the general direction of the Manticore and is high as hell and thinks that he's a ghost and you're a paladin, so you can see him.
All right.
Anybody with a 20? 19?
I got a 19.
Okay.
So I will get down from the building so that I can go haunt Curzon.
All right, now getting down from the building.
Yeah.
You can get down the back of the building. There's another building next to this one where it's a 10-foot drop to the balcony of that building.
Uh-huh.
So that's the shortest drop, or you can go 20 feet down directly towards the other people.
I feel like since I let go of the Manticore's tail and I felt myself drop like with my full weight.
Yeah.
I must be like a inevitable clanking kind of ghost rather than a floating ghost.
And you're clanking because your armor is clanking. Yeah. So
I'm gonna go Curzon, and I'm gonna go like that, like really slowly down whichever route would be slower.
All right, that is going to involve climbing because there are no stairs to the roof of this building. So make a roll a d20, add your proficiency in your athletics.
I rolled a 19 on the die. So.
Okay, so you go down the edge of the building, clanking loudly. You clank your way down the stairs, and so now you are coming out toward the demolished area, saying "Curzim, Curzim." That was in 19, I think. So 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 15. Okay.
So I'm like equidistant from both of those horrible things, huh?
Yeah. Let me. Okay. So there. That's a good view of everything that is going on. So, yeah. So you can see where Albrecht is. The Manticore is there, but airborne. And then you've got the mess of people around there.
And the Manticore is pretty high?
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Is that the Manticore is elevated?
It is, yes.
Can I make it to Albrecht?
Yeah.
I would like to get to Albrecht.
Okay, yeah. You're about 30 feet. So you run underneath the Manticore and over to Albrecht. What do you do?
I say, I can't concentrate. No, he's good. I say, join me again in the land of the living, and I will heal him.
Okay.
So, that wasn't bad. So I'm going to heal you for 9 points.
Whoa. This has been a real roller coaster of a day. All right. Okay. So now you have to touch me to heal me, right?
Yes.
So you're going to, number one, touch me, which is like, whoa, I didn't know I was tangible. And number two, you're probably going to knock off some of the dust. And maybe...
Well, I only made you tangible with the spell. Like, right. I brought you back from death.
Right.
Death.
But yeah, so now I'm like, whoa, I am flesh again.
You owe me a Wookiee life debt.
I forgive me for not grasping the totality of your plan. Truly, the resurrection is thine.
Okay, so
I saw the other side.
This maneuver is called the Dwarven Resurrection.
All right, Ala.
Just Steve notices I'm assuming through the haze, the ogre with his chain of slaves.
Yes.
And he's gonna yell, "Kill the slavers!"
Okay.
And first he's gonna use Hunter's Mark on the ogre.
Okay.
And then he's going to shoot at him.
All right.
And that is a 17 to hit.
All right. I think that's gonna hit. And the Hunter's Mark.
The Hunter's Mark does an additional 1d6 damage.
Shoot him in the eye.
And it is a total of 16 damage.
I'm sure that's not going to do it for an ogre, but let's take a look. Okay, yeah, you totally nailed him because they're armor class 11. And how much did you do?
16 points.
Okay. So he is at... Okay. So he yells, kill the
slavers.
All right. So that means the ogre's going to roll initiative too. All right. That was in 15. Now, anybody in 14?
Yeah, I'm on 14.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm going to kind of look over at the smoldering remains of the Tengu. Say, I told you we weren't slavers.
Best line of the night.
And speaking of which, so I know the lightly armored ones got vaporized. The heavily armored one, was he still up, or is he just down, or is he also in pieces? Or can I check on him to find out?
He vaporized.
Okay.
So there's a pile of feathers there, and some armor.
Nope, that's fine.
That's about it. There's one little claw foot sticking out.
Well, I'm going to try and I can't really see myself on the camera here, but I'm going to try and back up sort of across the now open square away from the cloud of smoke, so I can get a good line on both the flying creature, manticore, and the ogre, and I'm going to cast false life on myself.
All right, so let me click on here. So we're frozen on that screen. So there's Dane, and y'all can't see my mouse, so pointing him out doesn't help. Dane's the one in blue. So actually, you're standing in the ideal position to have line of sight on absolutely everything. Not that line of sight is as much of an issue as it was when there was a building in the middle of the whole thing. So you've got line of sight. What are you going to do?
Well, actually, I'm a bit confused. This has been my theme of the evening, is what the hell's going on? But I'm just going to cast false life on myself with my warlock invocation and get some temporary hit points back.
All right. And yes, and as you do that, you also realize that part of the end of your beard has been singed.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
And he like falls to the ground on his knees and just goes, no. It's all right. We'll bring it back. We'll make it better.
Yeah, you can get, it'll take a clerical spell, but if a cleric, if a dwarven cleric really concentrates on that, they can regrow beards that have been damaged in combat.
I figured I could like pray to my my patron and maybe get some of that hair tonic.
Yeah, there's that as well. There's Dr. Omnibus has the hair tonic. So. All right, that was yours, and that was in when? Have all of y'all gone?
I was at 14.
Okay, that was in 14. All right, so in 9, the manticore has disadvantage, but does have its tail free now.
Oh.
And let's see. It looks at Curzim.
Hey, guy.
From the air. And it yells, "You son of a bitch!"
Son of a beard.
And so...
No, he's going to resurrect you. You'll be fine.
It launches a tail spike at Curzim.
A warning tail spike.
Probably. It rolls a 12. What's your armor class?
18.
All right. So the tail spike sort of dings off your armor. But
what do you
then
call it? A shot across the brow.
But then it goes into a shallow dive and lands directly next to you and Curzon. Let me see if I can turn him a little bit. We'll say that he lands like that. And that way we can see where everybody is. All right, so it's next to you and Curzon. In 2, the ogre turns with his club and tries to backhand Caladin.
Sorry, man.
And so that's
Keyword's going to be try.
I'm
'cause
not
Caladin-
rolling all that well. That's a 14. So that, and Caladin sees it coming and just sort of blocks it with the armor on his forearm. And that's the round. Roll initiative. Anybody over 20?
Nope.
I'm flattered that you think I could get over 20.
19, 18, 17, 16.
Caladin rolled 8.
All right. In 15, who else was in 15? Was that you, Zach?
Yeah.
All right. So you and the ogre are going at the same time.
Okay. Are we going first?
You can go. You can go first.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, "Oh, Father Curzon, what do you desire of me?"
Stop the Manticore
From what?
from killing us all.
Oh, it's really rude. Okay.
Yeah, you've got a beef with this manticore. I mean, first it was rude, then it killed you. You know.
The memory, it's not good. So I'm supposed to kill the manticore. Okay. Does it have prehensile hands?
It has sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
Answer is yes, but very stubby. They look like paws almost.
I'm gonna put the animal trap on its face. So I'm just gonna like slap it in the face with the animal trap.
That's horrible.
Okay.
I have rolled a modified 22 hit.
All right, that will do it. So you slam the bear trap into the manticore's face. And I'm going to give it a saving throw to shake that off, because if it doesn't, there's going to be some problems for the manticore.
The official mechanic is that you get a saving throw on your turn to free yourself within your foot. I don't know about your face.
Well, yeah, it was the saving throw was to immediately just get its face out of the way, even though you hit. But it does not succeed at that. So your bear trap snaps shut on its face, and so it's got.
Father Curzon commands ye stop.
And now he takes 1 hit point of damage and has disadvantage. Is that correct?
I think it's let me look it up while you do whatever the next thing is. And
okay.
Is that cool?
Okay, the ogre is really annoyed at the fact that Curzon just sort of did that desultory block, and so it looks at its great club for a second to make sure that there's not a defect with the club itself, and then when it realizes that, so it leans back way big, takes an overhand smash you into the pavement swing down at Caladin, and Caladin, you sort of step to the side and brush it away again with your forearm armor. That I think was that all in 13?
Okay, Matt, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, what happens?
First round, it takes D4 damage, and then if it's functioning normally, it prevents you from moving.
Yeah.
But when it's on your face, it's up to you. And you take 1 damage per round it's still on there. So first round I rolled a 2, and then from now on it'll do 1 more.
Okay. All right, so it has already taken its damage, even though it has not had its turn yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you take off 2 damage now, then
that's what I did. Yeah, okay. And then the ogre missed Caladin, that was in 13. So in 12.
I had a 13 as well.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you go ahead.
And Steve's gonna try and finish off the ogre.
Okay.
16 to hit.
That's a hit.
And Hunter's Mark is still active, so it's going to be 13 points of damage this time.
Okay. So yeah, it's getting really annoyed because it keeps missing Caladin, and now it's got an arrow not only in its front, but it's got one in his back too. So that's really annoying. In a 12, 10.
Oh,
11.
Dana's on 12.
Okay, 12.
And then what kind of check did you say it was for the Manticore to take the trap off?
It's going to be a saving throw.
Oh, it's a saving throw. Okay. Well, I'm going to hex the Manticore versus strength checks. I don't think it'll affect his saves, but it would affect ability checks.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast it. So I'm going to fire like a little bolt of like a beard hairball or something. I don't know.
Okay. Zach, you did say it was a saving throw to get it off, right?
I mean, if you use it normally and it's your foot, then it's a saving throw in the first one, and then after that, it's a strength check. But
it's a strength check. Okay.
Okay, so he does get disadvantage on those.
Get it off its face if it doesn't have hands. You know, that was the idea.
Yep.
And that is... Come on, where's my attack thing? It's going to be 16 is the attack roll.
That's a hit.
Okay. For 3 points of damage. Plus the hex. Yeah. Hex does another d6, I think.
Nice. Yeah, necrotic damage.
Okay.
So it's another 3, so a total of 6 points of damage.
Not bad. Nice job.
Okay.
That's it for me.
So wham, you get your nice little magic attack going. It sort of jerks in surprise when it gets hit, and it snarls magic. Anybody else in 12?
I have an 11. So
okay, let's go to you.
All right. I will say, if you want it, and I will shoot it with a guiding bolt.
Okay.
Oh.
So I have a 2 to hit it.
A what?
A 22.
22 is a hit.
So that would be 46. Ooh. 20 damage.
Okay, it's looking pretty hurt now.
And the next attack on it gets advantage.
Okay. All right, so now it moves into its strength check. And what was the effect of the hex?
It will have disadvantage on that check.
It made it. So it just pretty much effortlessly swipes the trap off its face. That was a natural 20.
Crumples it into a ball.
Yeah. And then it's going to attack. Okay, so it's got both of you in front of it. It's going to try and bite Kurzim, and it misses. It's going to try and claw Kurzim, and it misses.
Wait, it still gets 3 attacks after attacking the trap?
You just jinxed it. He's going to roll 20 now.
Well, he took his damage this turn. So, and then he made a check.
I mean, he had to reach up with his paw.
Yeah, no, he had to make a check. So that's okay. So he just misses Kurzim badly twice and does not actually attack Albrecht, which was the plan for the third attack.
Aha!
That happened in 1. That's the top of the round. Roll initiative.
Oh, Caladin was 8.
Oh, okay.
That's right. We do have Caladin.
What does Caladin do? There's that ogre right next to you, of course.
Yeah. I'm assuming because of the smoke in the middle of the screen here that I didn't see where the arrows came from. So all I see is my new foreman is getting shot with arrows after demolition was finished. And so I'm going to actually go up to the ogre and
He actually tried to hit. He tried to hit you twice too.
He was confused. I'm very forgiving. I mean, he did just get hit with an arrow each time. And so I'm going to walk up to the ogre and say, friend, you should leave before this gets out of hand. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on the ogre.
Okay.
And he's going to regain 10 hit points.
All right.
And I'm going to urge him to leave as soon as possible. And I'll say, next week, be back here.
Okay, well, the ogre, so in 8, the ogre just nods its head to Caladin, and now we're at the top of the round, and we'll see what it is that happens with our ogre. Anybody with a 20 or above? All right. 19, 18.
Caladin has a 19.
All right.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on it again.
Okay.
It's going to regain 6 more hit points.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. That was in what part of the round? What round?
19.
Okay. Anybody in 18?
Dane's on 18. I'm going to Eldritch Blast the Manticore again.
Okay.
You have advantage.
It's easy for you to say.
It wasn't actually.
So first one is 14, second one is 11, so we'll do the 14 plus 3 is 17.
17 points of damage?
17 to hit.
17 is a hit, yep.
Okay. And then damage is going to be 7 plus 5, 12 points of damage.
Okay, you blow a chunk out of its shoulder.
I'm going to say, yeah, magic.
And you're going to mimic its voice exactly back at it?
I'm going to try.
All right. Magic. That's sort of contemptuous. Okay, so and that was when in the round?
That was 18.
All right,
And did
17.
you include your hex damage?
I did, yeah.
Okay. 16? 15?
I had a 15.
Okay.
And just Steve's like, Caladin, no, we kill slavers. And then he attempts to shoot the ogre again.
All right, roll the hit.
It's 21.
All right, hit damage.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. It is 17 points of damage.
Okay, so there is a mysterious archer, Caladin, up at the top of the building that is still shooting at the foreman, and is yelling, "Caladin, we kill slavers."
Right. Now, do I still have ringing in my ears?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure I heard all of that. Something about slavers.
All right, well, roll a saving throw, because if you succeed at the saving throw, you hear exactly what she said, even if you don't want to.
There's a 5 on the die.
All right.
The dice don't want him to hear either.
All right, so all that you know is that the sniper on the rooftop has shot your foreman again. All right, that was like 15 or so, right? So
yeah.
14.
I'm also 15.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna hit the Manticore with my Morning Star named Axe.
Okay.
And no, I'm not. Rolled 3.
Okay. So you swing at the Manticore, but it was so hurt by the Eldritch Blast that it reared back when that happened, and so Axe just swung right where its head had been a second ago. So yeah, he totally fouled your shot there.
The chunk you hit right where that chunk is missing.
Yeah. 14, 13, 12. All right, in 11, what's it gonna do? Yeah, it's gonna spend its action to stop, when it withdraws from combat, and it's going to take to the air. And 50 feet. Okay. So it is now over the line of other buildings. It is still airborne. But the only person with line of sight on it is Steve. So it's out of there. Except for Steve may be able to shoot it or something like that.
Hopefully.
And did anybody not go?
Me.
Oh, also the ogre in 9 or whatever that was. The ogre.
I go at 10.
Yeah, but
And
the ogre. We already did the ogre. And so the ogre says to Caladin, "Fine, we'll be back in a week." He starts jostling his slaves out back the way that they came. So he is also escaping from the area. Top of the round. No, Ian, what do you do?
I am going to move towards the ogre.
Okay.
And I'm assuming I can still be within 120 feet of him.
Yep.
I'm going to hit him with a guiding bolt.
Okay, so basically you just move around the corner of the former opium den so that you can get good line of sight.
I might have missed. I've got a 15.
Nope, you hit.
Oh. So 8. I do 8 and 9, 17 damage.
Okay. It is
and
still...
I yell, "Stop that ogre! Free the slave!"
All right. Caladin, roll another saving throw. This is going to be, I guess, a Constitution saving throw.
Nope. 5 on the die.
Okay. And that brings us to the top of the round. So everybody roll initiative. All right. Figure out what order you're in. Okay, Zach's got an 8. Jonathan, what do you have?
16.
Okay.
Dane's on a 3.
Okay. And a 13. All right. And Alla, what'd you get?
23.
All right. You're first, then Jonathan, then whoever was next.
Allah's first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if I can still see the ogre.
Yeah, you can still see the ogre. In fact, he's a little bit clearer now that he's moved from the center of ground zero. So you've got a manticore flying off in one direction and an ogre chivying his slaves off in the other direction. What do you do?
I'm going to try to finish off that slaver.
Okay, roll to hit.
And I believe with Guiding Bolt, I roll with advantage.
Yep.
And it's a good thing I did, I guess, because it's a 18 to hit.
All right, that's a hit.
And 12 points of damage.
Okay, so the ogre is gesturing all of its slaves in one direction. Then you get him, and he sort of thumps down to his knees, and then falls forward on the cobblestones. And a pool of blood begins to radiate out from where he is. So he is down.
And I'm going to transfer my hunter's mark to the manticore.
Okay.
Above us, just in case it still wants to fight.
All right. All right, Jonathan.
So I will have probably followed the ogre as he left. Like I would have turned to face him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the arrow come and thunk him in the back of the head. At which point
I think it was a guiding bolt. Didn't you say, Alla?
It was a guiding bolt,
Oh.
and then from Ian, and then I followed up with an arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will have seen like this magical blast and then an arrow
Yeah.
all trying to stop me from building my temple. I mean, clearly there is greater forces at work here. And so I'm going to run up and try and lay on hands on my foreman, which I believe sorry. It's different in this edition.
Yeah, no, he's actually dead. So when you try and do that, it doesn't have any effect.
Okay, yeah. So I mean that's what I would have done. And so yeah, I'm just sort of like kneeling over standing over my dead foreman, going, "Good help us find."
At that point, the slaves, so the 10 workers, see you with your symbols of Mitra on you, and they say, "Help us, cleric of Mitra. We're slaves. We need to be freed." Roll a saving throw. Constitution.
Little better this time. 13.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. It's a DC 10 to hear. So you do hear the slaves saying that they're slaves and that they need to be freed.
Okay. I'm definitely confused by this. But I'll probably walk over and start.
Well, that's the end of your action.
Okay, yeah, but I'm confused.
Yeah. Okay, so you're confused. So it was you, and then Gabe. Was it you next? Who was next?
It was me.
All right, go ahead, Ian.
Manticore is nowhere in sight for me.
Nope, you don't have line of sight on it, and the ogre is dead.
I'm going to rush to the slaves and begin trying to get their shackles off and saying, "Quickly, we must escape to the temple of the Dawn Goddess with me."
With me, specifically.
Specifically with me.
I am the one you will follow. No one else.
I'm your new slaver. I mean, liberator.
You've been liberated. Okay. Gabe, I think it was you and then Zach, right?
Zach then me.
Okay.
Well, wait, Zach, didn't you have an 8?
I had an 8, yeah.
I had a 3.
Okay. Go ahead, Zach.
So I see that I'm like, they're slaves. And it's slaver, apparently. And I see that Curzum is freeing the slaves. I think that's great. He's such a good guy. So I'm going to run over there and help freeing the slaves.
Okay, so you run. Once actually Curzum is over here freeing slaves. I don't know if he's still visible on the thing or if I moved him out. Let me see if I can figure out. Yeah, there we go.
We have to stop that slaver too.
All right, so Curzum has gone up here. And
is that slaver still there?
Albrecht.
Isn't the ogre dead?
No, the slaver, like the other guy, the rich dude.
Oh,
you don't know what he was all about at all, but it does appear that he and his bodyguard that was with him have wandered off over the course of this whole thing.
Smart move.
High as kites.
so literally wandered.
Yeah, literally wandered. He might be nearby, looking at flowers or something like that. All right, so Albrecht, you come over and you're helping free slaves. Gabe, we're tied. What do you do?
Knowing what direction the Manticore went off in, is there any way that I can move to get line of sight on him?
Not really. He got far enough that the only person who can see him is Steve, because Steve is on a roof.
Okay.
Search the bodies.
Yeah, I guess I can start searching the pile of feathers next to me and
okay,
around anything else that might have gotten blown loose in the explosions earlier.
Okay. All right, so the Manticore in that round flies off, and so we have no more Manticore threatening people. And you can start looking at what you've got in the unbelievable wreckage that this one has caused. And I think you have topped the Swords and Wizardry party for sheer volume of property damage and collateral damage.
Skeeter's going to be pissed.
Yeah,
and we have a site for a temple.
Yeah, you have cleared off a place for the temple now. All right, the Kenku that was vaporized was he had plate armor. There is a pendant around his neck that looks like a crow's head, only you can put a finger in the back of the head and a finger in the beak and sort of clack it, because there's a little hinge, so you can make a clackety 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 noise with it. And let's see, and then he has got 50 gold pieces on him, and that's it for him. Then who else are you searching? The ogre has got, hang on a sec. Now the manticore didn't leave any treasure, but the ogre,
5 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's true. He is he's only got 40 gold pieces on him, but you do notice a great big chunky ring on his big stubby finger. So you're able to get that ring.
So it's a necklace for the rest of us. The collar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crown.
Yeah, right.
I'm just writing it down as a big ass ring. We can figure it out later.
I wrote chunky ring.
Chunky ring. Okay. So you've got that, and then each of the blasted Kenku that were in the front have 10 gold pieces each.
So there were 4 of them?
There were 4 of them. You've got a bunch of broken eggs, a dented tin drinking cup. This is the stuff under the merchant's canopy. An unraveled turban, a low quality robe, and a pair of feet from the merchant.
Did the rug with the dragons survive?
Yes, yeah, the rug with the Komodo the threadbare rug with the Komodo dragons. It is a little bit singed around the edges, but other than that, it's fine.
Also, it's full of drugs.
It stinks like opium.
Yeah, it smells like opium.
Everything.
To be fair, so is this whole neighborhood. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
but it's a fiber, so it'll probably stay there longer.
Forever.
Are you taking the Komodo dragon blanket?
We have.
I mean, I would like to if nobody objects. I think I'm gonna turn it into a prayer rug to Mitra.
You're gonna steal from that merchant?
He doesn't need it.
As we're like pilfering the loot off the dead bodies.
While they're doing that,
I mean, I don't know that I would have seen that there was a merchant over there necessarily. I just see this pile of stuff being unattended.
How many?
That's like literally the definition of theft, though.
How many GP worth of opium is just lying on the ground now?
No, it's all burning. About 50 staggering, weaving, singing beggars have congregated now around the smoking ruin of the opium den, and they are digging through to see what they can find.
Yeah, we want to try to find the cash box because we knew where that was in there.
How did you know where that was in there?
Because we went in and we saw where he was, like the general area, right? Like his little counter there.
Yeah, so you know the general area of that. Since you're a dwarf, you can figure out how to get directly above the top of that. But when you look at it, it's going to need a pickaxe and a winch to get the stones off the top of where the cash box is.
Well, I've got a block and tackle.
That'll do.
I have a pickaxe.
Ha!
I have a shovel.
Arms!
A bunch of nerds don't have pickaxes. Come on.
We throw the rope for the block and tackle up to Steve.
I have rope and pickaxe and shovel. I can definitely.
I'll loop it around one of the support beams of that building.
Okay, that'll work. All right,
If
so
they haven't been significantly damaged by the explosions.
No, you're able to tie those down. Yeah, I mean the whole building's a little shaky, but in terms of structural support, those beams will do fine because they're huge and they go across the roof. So, all right, so
in terms of structural support, those beams will do fine as they're huge and they go across the roof.
says all.
Rekestric's gonna be pissed. His opium den is gone.
Yeah, I know. It's because he failed his saving throw and he's addicted. So now we're going to have a real interesting.
I saved him from a life of addiction right here.
You did.
Okay,
so
Operation
half the city need to make that saving throw now.
In about 5 minutes, you guys have got a block and tackle set up. You got your pickaxe to lever out the problem. You get the big stone out of the way. The beggars are not bugging you guys because you look official. So you find the cash box. Now, it's flat as a pancake. So all of the gold pieces that were inside have essentially turned into a disc.
We're okay with that.
So you've got a frisbee made of gold that you figure is worth about 600 gold pieces. I mean, it's a big-ass frisbee.
That's awesome.
Mitra's not picky on what donations come in.
Right, there you go.
Can I find enough pieces of wood to cobble together a quick little sign that says future home of the shrine to the Dawn Goddess and like stick it in the rubble?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's gonna be, beams for the most part.
That's fine.
Okay, so you plant a scorched beam with a scorched little crossbar over the top, so it you basically you're able to patch together a crucifix there that says future home of the temple of future home of the chapel of Saint Muriel, because it's Saint Muriel
yeah.
who got the money for.
At some point, I'm going to shout into the rubble that I'm going to say, Quajara, everything looks good. We'll take it.
Okay, there is no reply.
No, I figure that, but that I'm just letting Caladin is just making sure Quajara knows.
Right. Okay.
If that disc of gold is actually nice and like circular shaped, we should pound it into like the sun of Mitra or whatever, and put it like as the first decoration on a new.
For Saint Muriel, like you enter in and that's what you see. Yeah, that's fancy.
I'm going to go up to the sign as well and put C second level for Shrine to Mitra.
Okay. All right. So you're reserving the second level for the shrine, for a shrine to Mitra. So y'all can make basically, a multi-story high-rise,
all-purpose church.
All-purpose church
in the middle of the Grim Quarter.
Yeah, in the middle of the Grim Quarter. So
make sure it's really tall. It's got a bloody lot of gravitational potential energy. A whole lot of potential for devastation when that goes crumbling down.
We can make the third floor into an opium den.
Yeah, there you go.
A memorial opium den.
The Quajara Memorial Opium Den.
Oh, Skeeter's gonna be pissed. I wonder if is he watching? Hang on a second. Let's. How do we look at that?
It's so mean to make opium addicts climb to the third floor.
All right, so here's this thing, and what have we got here? Jim Wampler. Okay, he's watching. It does not look like Skeeter is watching, so he'll just hear about it later in game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should tell him.
No. Totally.
I think the surprise is going to be the thing.
Yeah. I will leave the little diorama.
You got to pitch them too. Be like, hey, did you want to go to the opium den today as we start this adventure?
No, I can do that. Actually, they may leave directly. They'll probably be leaving directly from where they are, actually. So it may be that he learns later.
He might need a hit before we leave.
Well, in that case, Tovak can suggest it to him, as opposed to.
I don't think Tovak knows about his addiction. He did that on his own.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see how it plays out.
Anyway, so all right, so we've wrapped it up. when was the last time you guys leveled up on this? It was last session, correct?
We just leveled up. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna say, and if we're following the first edition fighter thing, everyone gets. We're figuring percentages here. God damn it! I don't have a player's handbook.
I just want to know how much experience the building was worth.
Y'all are gonna be.
And healing the ogre.
And all the opium addicts. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot. Like if this is like half of them are monsters, right? So
Yeah, you took out. Let's see, 4 Kenku, a Kenku leader, Quijara, about 10 opium people.
We
Hang
gotta
on 2
get more
seconds.
bombs.
That's probably Skeeter calling.
It's like, what did you guys do to my opium den?
Okay, so yeah, you know they bitch about the problems you guys caused for them. This is gonna be yet another one where Skeeter's like, God damn it. Okay, we're gonna say that you guys get. Has anybody got that experience point table in front of them?
For the first edition fighter?
Yeah, for what it's going to take you to get. You're going to get. Put it this way: you're halfway to second level now.
Okay, and it's you want the OD&D or first edition?
First edition, but it's good. You just however many points it is to get halfway to the next level, you have got, because that was epic, and there were definitely enough casualties to cause lots of experience. You defeated the Manticore, you killed the ogre, you rescued the slaves, you eliminated an opium den that was a blight on the city. So yeah,
that was a good deed. See,
yeah, except for the innocent bystanders who were collateral damage, you did manage to achieve your objective.
So a quarter of the way is 1,000 experience. So we
No,
should be
half
at
the way.
5,000.
Half the way.
Half the way. So we'll be at 6,000 then.
Okay.
6,000 total.
Collateral
and then
damage.
Eight is the top.
Just alternative group names for us.
Yeah, the Allah is suggesting the alternative group name of the collateral damage of Jordoba rather than the Heroes of Jordoba. Yeah, the term heroes is you guys are definitely not going to be seen as the good guys at this point, I suspect.
I've freed a lot of slaves.
You did. You've freed 10 slaves.
And this is my second slave run freaking.
As commanded. So I know in the eyes of Muriel, who has resurrected me.
There you go.
All I can.
I'm the Spartacus of the Grim Quarter.
No, I am the Spartacus of the Grim Quarter.
Exactly.
Okay, so you can try it and see if it works anyway.
That's the name of this episode. I am Curzon.
I am Curzon. hear me roar. Okay, everybody, let's call it a night with that one, and I'll see everyone next week for the aftermath.
Thanks for the game. Have a happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good game.
Good night, everyone.